Come on, come into the ditch. I'm your resident ditch witch, Tara Tyne, and we're about to get witchy, whether you like it or not. Today we are having a chill and a celebration. First up, 100 subscribers. Woo! Thank you all so much for your support, for tuning in, for liking, for subscribing, for sharing my videos. It means the world to me to get 100 subscribers. In fact, I think at last check, I'm up on 115, so doing great for the fact that I've only been up here for 2 months now. Doing great, folks, doing great, and that is all because of you. After all, if you people weren't here, it would just be me recording my daily activities and talking to myself mostly. You'll be pleased to know I have bought myself a couple of presents to celebrate, you know, in honour of this momentous occasion. First up is this beautiful fiddle. Yes, it's purple. It might only be half the size of an adult fiddle. Is that going to stop me from smiling like a goon every time I play it? No. No, it's not. This I picked up from my local St Vincent de Paul for €50, people. €50, look at that. Now, it is my third fiddle, and fiddle is not even my main instrument. It was when I was younger. I stopped doing competitions and things like that when I hit my teens. I joined the school choir instead, and I didn't really like all the pressure of those competitions, particularly when I didn't win all of them. And since I've left school, I've been messing around with several other instruments. I've even been known to play 1 or 2 of them on stage. But I like to try and play them as much as I possibly can, whether it is putting together music for a documentary that I've been asked to do, or a project of my own that I'm working on, or sometimes, quite a lot of the time, actually just for fun. But if you stay tuned, I might play you something kind of festive and cozy, sort of, maybe. We'll see. But I digress. The eagle-eyed viewers out there will have noticed that in the last few weeks, the quality of my videos has been growing incrementally better. Dribs and drabs, here and there. And here's why. Oh, this one's a shiny one. First of all, some new headphones. Harman headphones. They'll be great for when I'm recording and when I'm editing my videos. What's behind door number 2? Oh, it's my camera!
Oh, shiny camera!
It's my camera!
Woo.
So hopefully better footage from now on. This is the Canon EOS M50. I have no experience with this brand. In fact, this is my first professional camera. I'm so excited about it. I don't really know much other than it's 4K footage.
Yeah, it's 24 megapixels. It's 4K at 24 frames a second. It also does 1020 and 1080 and 720 as well, and it does a 10 bursts per second shoot as well.
Dave does my tech research for me.
Yeah.
He helps me with all the numbers. I get very confused.
So your main camera now will be amazing, and you know what's amazing as well? Your secondary camera will now be the iPad, so double up in the quality, you know?
So dual screen options, Dave.
Dual
angle.
options, dual angles.
Cool. Also, twice the work though, yeah.
For you.
And these are my lenses. I got 2 lenses with this. This will hopefully allow me to shoot in daylight as well as in low light conditions, because I mean it gets dark here now at the minute in and around 4 o'clock inside my house, and if you're working on an all day project it's pretty tough to get it done and filmed while the light is still good. So hopefully now we're going to have a better chance at filming. I'm going to bring you lovely people, some sparkling videos,
and hopefully the blurriness is going to be a thing of the past. I'm going to have to phase it in over the next couple of videos, I think, and learn the ropes a little bit. So bear with me, but we're on the up and up, people. We are on the up and up.
So I've been getting used to using my new camera over the last week or two. This chat that I'm filming right now is actually on my new camera, but hopefully for the last time I have to apologise for the grainy footage in the rest of the video. It was just a matter of recording things that we were sort of up to before and just after the camera arrived, when I was too busy to kind of sit down and just spend a whole afternoon coming to terms with it. This is the last, hopefully, of the grainy footage, and from here on in it's going to just be you, me, the 1080 footage, and whatever other amateur mistakes I'm bound to make. In fairness, we can't be too hard on the old iPad. She has put in a very good shift here on the Diary of a Ditch Witch YouTube channel. Some of you may have seen the music video that we just released today, which was actually recorded on the iPad in a tiny box room with pretty much nothing but one ring light and 2 table lamps to light the scene. And as you heard in last week's video, the room that we did all of this in, both the video and recording that song for the charity album Fairytale of Dundalk, which we were invited to be a part of, that room contains precisely 5 foot by 3 foot of empty floor space, which we had to play with, which wasn't much. So you can understand that we're quite proud of this. I'll put the link for that video at the top of the screen now. That was, of course, our cover of Santa Baby, which was, although it was a challenge, it was one of the most fun projects that either of us has ever worked on. And thanks again to Melissa Hayes for inviting us to be a part of that. Those of you who are friends with me on Facebook will have seen the debacle over the weekend, which was that the music video was meant to be up on Friday evening. Dave had announced it all over Dundalk FM. I was after spending a month putting that together, a full month. I spent a week just sitting back and tweaking it and making sure I liked everything about it. And then we decided to be adventurous and to upscale the footage so that it would look just that little bit better on high definition devices. What we didn't realise was that upscaling a 4-minute music video to 1080 footage and trying to upload it to the internet using a mobile broadband dongle, which is pay-as-you-go, that it would actually take 36 hours to do so. Yeah. So I spent the weekend being sickened at missing my own deadline after having a good month to prepare. But it's all over now. We're very pleased with the finished product. Though I'm not gonna lie, it's been emotional. On top of that, I also volunteer for my local radio station, Dundalk FM, who are working very, very hard this past while trying to get their Christmas programming schedule together. And this year I will be contributing 2 shows to that schedule. I'm very privileged to have gotten an excellent slot on the evening of Christmas Eve. The first of those shows, which is going to be played back to back, is a slightly shorter version of my interview with my friend Heiko on winter foraging, which some of you may have seen last week, the week before. What week is this? What day is this? Who am I? Are those my feet? The second of those shows is called Stories and Poems for Christmas, and it is aimed at the younger generation who will be getting very excited that Santa is going to be coming that night, and maybe it's just a little something to help their parental units to lull them off to bed. And it features Dickens's A Christmas Carol and also The Night Before Christmas. So that's going to be really cute. If you want to tune into it, you can listen online on www.dundalkfm.com. They've got the radio player up there. And that is going to be kicking off from 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on Christmas Eve. So you can see I have a lot of stuff going on at once, which generally is sort of how I tend to live. But hopefully it explains things a little bit for those of you who have just come along in the last couple of weeks. either through finding me through my video about the walk up to Killally Graveyard, or through one of my craft videos, and now you're here going, what is going on? What even is this? It's not all glamour and graveyard, you know. In fact, over the last few weeks, I have also been trying very hard to maintain a garden with Dave's help. This is also something that I do, and what has sort of become the main focus of my outdoors work over the last month or so has been to mulch and fertilize all of the beds so that we can get our vegetables and our shrubs and flowers and things coming along nicely for next year. And I also did some seed saving for some Chinese lantern plants, which are so pretty, and I used them several times in arrangements and my wreath that I made during the autumn, so I'd love to have lots more of those again next year. And it was a bit of a strange process involving a blender to save those seeds, so yeah, check it out. The first thing I had to do to collect the Chinese lantern seeds was to collect the orange seeds from the papery skeletons of their lantern hosts. Once I had them, I took them inside, added enough water to cover them in a jug, and I gave them a good blend. P.S. I'm also looking for tips on what to do with the plum seeds from my father's plum trees. I don't really have enough space in my garden to plant them, so any and all advice welcome in the comments, please. Once the blending was done, I had to add more water as per the internet's instructions, and then it needed to be left sitting for 2 to 3 days. So I've had the seeds now sitting here for probably 5 days. The instructional that I saw on the internet said 2 to 3 days, but heck folks, it's been a busy week. So what I'm going to do, and don't mind my lovely rainbow fabric, I just wanted something to cover it with, and that was the closest thing to hand. So we're actually going to use that again for straining the seeds through. So the first thing I'm going to do now is just to carefully pour the water off the top of these. You see you've got the pulp and the viable seeds have settled to the bottom. What we have on top should all be water, so I'm going to just try and patiently Dave, pour the water off the top. Okay, so you can see I have poured off as much of the water as I possibly can without letting seeds go as well. You're meant to do this next bit with a slotted spoon, but I mean, who's to say you can't just pour that in there, like, you know. Oh, look at all those lovely seeds. So these need to be rinsed now to get the pulp off them, and then they need to be dried on a paper towel in a well ventilated space for the next couple of weeks. Then we give them a quick rinse. You can see now there that that is separating very nicely. Okay, so they're still rather pulpy, but I think that's okay. I think they're going to dry reasonably well. Now, from what I hear, these things grow like wildfire. But I mean, they're gorgeous, so, you know. I'm going to plant a load of them. I might give some to friends and family to plant. Wildfire be damned. So these that I'm planting today, very pretty pink flower, and it's called bitterroot. The Latin name is Lucia cotyledon. I don't know, but it has the name Elise after it in inverted commas, so I don't know if that rings any bells with anyone, but when I bought them, this one was this beautiful hot pink, and this one was sort of the colours of a tequila sunrise. So obviously I had to get both, but that other one seems to have died off a little bit.
I don't know what's wrong with it. The other thing that I am planting today, or repotting, is this skimmia. Which when I saw it, I thought, wow, what a beautiful winter shrub. And I think this is going to add some beautiful colour to my vases this winter.
And when he touched a mortal soul, inspiration was his goal, breathing life into the...
Okay, so Dave is currently opening our nettle fertilizer, which we really hope is not explosive. Oh, Dave! Oh yeah, I heard it smelled alright. Wow. I'm standing quite far away. Almost as far away as Tilly is. Tilly has no idea what the smell is. Tilly, what's that? She's like, I don't know, hey, but it's rank. She's out of here. So I had cut all the nettles from my raised bed, which you saw me planting in a moment ago, and we filled a bucket with some rainwater and those nettles, and several months later we've got us some very smelly, thankfully not explosive, nettle stew. What is the ratio, Dave?
The ratio is 20 to 1 if you're putting it in your winter beds or anything like that, and it's 10 to 1 for if you're putting it in your pot plants. And
Okay.
keep it away from tomatoes and keep it away from roses, they don't like it.
Tomatoes and roses don't like it. Dave's an expert because he googled it a couple of minutes ago, so he
Literally
is
2
now,
minutes ago.
between the two of us, he is the nettle fertilizer expert. So we've already put 10 bottles of water from our rainwater butt into this bucket, and we're now just about to add another half bottle of nettle fertilizer. Oh, power to you, Dave. Oh, the bang of that. Be Jesus. It's very dark to be seeing that, but he has just... This is like Hubble Bubble Thailand trouble here, Dave.
Yeah.
When shall we three meet again? And we're going to go now and water some stuff with that. Hoeing and wrecking and wrecking and hoeing on my new gloves. So just doing a bit of mulching here. These are hedge trimmings we had from before, which are still quite big and lumpy. We did the best we could with the equipment we had at the time, but if needs be we can come and rake the really twiggy stuff off again in springtime before we replant. I've also done a layer of sheep's wool beneath this, which will also act as a great fertilizer. So I'm hoping that my vegetable bed will be rejuvenated and fertile by next spring. There's nothing better after a hard day's work in the garden in cold weather than coming inside and sitting down in front of a big roaring fire. And I did say if you made it through this far that I might play you a wee song, so even though my playing's more than a little bit rusty, I hope you'll indulge me in a childhood memory of Christmas, which I'm sure many Irish people share with me, and that is this ad that you'll see playing now, the Board na Mona ad, which had this song playing over it. It's called the Marina Waltz and it's by the Dubliners. Hit subscribe for more fun and witchy adventures. I'm posting 2 videos every week for the whole month of December. And please share with your friends if you see something that you like. Slán agus beannacht, goodbye and good luck to you.